Going live with my new green screen. Look at that. What? It's like it's falling over when I run into it. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Jakey, Andrew, let's pin up. Anybody, thank you so much for reaching out for my free book. You can have it. David@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Good morning, Monday. It's going to be a great week. We have Bring Your Own Question this Friday, free training Friday, free book, free exercises. Come on, join me. Let's do this stuff. Let's empower others to be happy. This is the time in the margins of millionaires. We can make it happen. Everybody, hang in there. Good morning, Kate. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Why don't we pin up my email and number there, Jakey. Looks like my thing got stuck. Going to be a great day here. Let's take some questions. Keep those coming. Blaine, thank you for joining. Colleen, good morning. Hopefully the green screen will work with the stuff it's supposed to work with, but this closet's getting complicated. Nick, where's your friend Anthony? That's what I want to know. Nick, where is Anthony? Did he go AWOL on us? What's going on with that? Team David Meltzer, there we go. Welcome, team. We will pin that up there. If you want a free book, free training, let's get some questions going. David@dmeltzer.com. There we go. Here we are. Let's get it going. Good morning. Happy Monday. Not a question, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Nick. Here we go. Who is your favorite U.S. president of all times and why? Probably George Washington, because he refused to be a dictator. They wanted him to stay in office, and he made sure that we had all the checks and balances, and he had created a system that, we got to rethink some of it now. But man, we need another George Washington. That's what we need. My favorite president. Very good. Let's see here. What is the best question you can ask yourself? Who can help me? That's probably the best question I can ask myself. Who can help me? So if we could ask that, we're going to do just fine. Let me see here. I'm playing with this stuff. Who do I know that can help me? That's a good question. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Let's keep them coming. All right. Next, how do I get back to center when emotions pull you? Well, once again, that's being a ferocious Buddha. We got to be ferocious about number one, be aware of when your emotions are pulling you in the wrong trajectory. It usually doesn't pull you. It usually accelerates you into the wrong direction. Wham, creating voids, shortages, obstacles in your life. And what we need to do is, number one, identify it. Two, we need to stop. So stop the acceleration. We then need to drop and breathe, go to center, ask ourselves, why do I feel this way? Since it's emotion that's accelerating us in the wrong direction, and then move in the right direction according to my values, personal, experiential, giving and receiving values. That's as easy as it comes. So, make sure you're a ferocious Buddha. Stop, drop, and roll when your emotions send you in an accelerated trajectory in the wrong direction. What is one of the most important lessons you have learned from the Playbook? That's easy. Biggest lesson I've learned from the Playbook, which is my podcast, available to you guys everywhere for free. Go ahead, check it out. But the biggest lesson from the greatest athletes, celebrities, entertainers, executive, entrepreneurs in the world is that you must be what you can be. Common denominator, greatest lesson is to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. And if you do that, you will enjoy your life. You will be happy. That's the lesson to empower others with, so that we can get over 1 billion people to be happy. Once again, if you want to come and register for free training Friday, it's Bring Your Own Question Day. All these questions we can be answered. It'll be a great hour. It's David@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Just text me there, 949-298-2905. Register. Or if you want a free book, go ahead, reach out. I will do that as well. Please, let's get this thing going. Open to more questions here. My business went bankrupt with COVID. Well, all right, it's time to figure out what is doing well, align your capabilities that are synergistic and supplementary to what is doing well right now and apply it, right? Apply those capabilities, right? Get off, use motivation to get up, get back up, get started, get restarted. Go ahead, ask for help, find those areas that are doing well, Find the capabilities that you have that are synergistic or supplementary and keep moving, right? I went bankrupt and I just kept moving. I use those capabilities, align them, and keep them coming. So once again, free training Friday. They put it up there. It's 11 a.m. Pacific. You watch the replay today on the Playbook from last Friday. We had a pitch competition. Absolutely, anyone needs anything, just reach out. Let's get some more questions going. What would you say it is best to do, me being 17 right now? Well, one, enjoy your life, right? So learn as much as you can, experience as much as you can, ask for help as much as you can, enjoy. Try to build the muscle of mindset and discipline as well as strategy at an early age. The more consistent and persistent you are, the better you'll be able to manifest what you want. The more those muscles will grow and allow you to get what you want. What did you learn from the pitch competition? I learned that people still need to practice, right? That as much as they want something, practice. The more you practice, the better it is. Enrique, how are you, my Elevate brother? If you haven't checked out Elevate, go ahead, check out at Enrique Alazaba right there. Great company, great guy. Welcome, Enrique. Really good to see you. Lost my business and went bankrupt to COVID, lockdown. Should I get job to start over or keep striving? That's according to your values, personal, experiential, giving and receiving. I like to do both. The legs feed the lion. So I like to do both, have as much income as I can to develop and pursue other options and opportunities for that as well. So very, very good. Let's keep these coming. Thank you. Keep the questions coming. They're great. Once again, Friday we'll have a Bring Your Own Questions training on Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. All you got to do to register, it's free. Don't worry. I have free training, free books, free exercises, free guides. David@dmeltzer.com or text me 949-298-2905. Best way to email a potential client, as in what do I need to do to make sure to include. If it's a potential client, the only thing you should email, call, phone, text, or use social media for is to stimulate interest. In other words, to get them to call you back. That's the only purpose. Remember, 80% of the time, people don't answer. So you need to be able to leave the appropriate email, phone, text, whatever it is. It's just stimulate interest. Stay very focused just on that one part to get somebody to call you back, to give you an opportunity to transition that interest into a share vision. But 80% differential, an 80% advantage can be taken if all you focus in on is getting someone to email you back, call you back, talk to you back, social media, DM you back. If you can stimulate interest, you are increasing the odds exponentially in your favor. So all you should be focused in on a potential client is stimulating interest to get them to 80% of the time call you back. And if you do get them, then to stimulate interest so that you have an opportunity to transition interest and share a vision. What is the key to conversion? On conversion for me is motivation converts into inspiration. If that's what you're talking about, is it a transition of conversion? Whatever it may be, the key to it is to understand the reasons, the impacts, and the capabilities, and then be able to articulate those in a quantitative manner in order to effectuate value. That's the best way that I know. What has been your most impactful Friday training? For me, I think the BYOQ, Bring Your Own Questions, are the most impactful. Best at this, and utilizing that for me is the best. And this Friday, I'm doing another one. So being able to answer specifically what people want to know, not what I want to teach, is impactful. So that's why the BYOQ this Friday, 11 a.m. Text me 949-298-2905 or david@dmeltzer.com. Free book, free training, free guides, free registration to training. I have a free recorded trainings. Download the Playbook. All the trainings are on there. It's all available for you free. Let's empower others to empower others to be happy. Why do we must keep our passion when we do business? I don't think you have to keep your passion, right? I think you have to learn to love the suck, right? I think when you're doing business, there's suck in there. And if you learn to love the suck, you'll be passionate and have fun and enjoy it. passion and enjoyment, very closely tied. One won't have as big of swings as the other. I like to enjoy what I'm doing. So that's what is best for me. Enjoyment creates and refuels that passion, that inspiration that I'm always connected to. Can you increase your frequency quickly? Yes, through meditation. I use theta meditation, THETA, theta meditation. You can go ahead, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Text me 949-298-2905 if you want to know about theta meditation. But yes, that increases my vibration, my frequency very quickly. I've been practicing it for 14 years. Learned to be a quantum healer as well, along with that frequency and vibration in order to effectuate that. Keep these coming. How do you balance pushing through when to the rest, when you don't have so much to do? For me, it's consistent, persistent behavior. Understanding that I have to be ferocious and just, what's the word I'm looking for? Completely purposeful in what I'm doing, but also I have to allow things to happen. So I have to have the passion and purpose for what I'm doing, but I have to allow it to happen. I have to detach that from the outcome and allow it to happen. And that conflict is very difficult for people to do. It's very conflictual to work really, really hard for something, have a vision, have a goal, but let go that emotion from that and allow it to happen at the right way at the perfect time. That blend, is the same blend of, monetary abundance with faithful abundance as well. So yes, you got it. Passion. How can I turn 10,000 into 1 million? Through acceleration and growth. Compound interest, in other words. The only way that you turn 10,000 into 1 million is through compound interest. Allowing yourself to segment things out so they double and double and double and double and double, whether it's every 7 years, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, whatever it may be. That's exactly what you need to do. Think about things in terms of acceleration and growth, compound interest, and if you segment things out and watch how they grow, that 10,000 turns into 20, into 40, into 80, into 160, into 320, into 640. Boom, $1.2 million right there. You focus in on doubling the amount that you're making, saving, accelerating as quickly as you can, change not only the exponential growth and the exponentiality of compound interest, but the acceleration there within that as well. So very, very good. Let's see here. When do you wake up and what's the first thing you do after waking up? I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I have a unwinding routine every day to make sure that I stay and wake up at 4 a.m. I meditate for 20 minutes. I get ready. I work out for an hour. And then I do research for an hour. Then I spend an hour with my family. Then I execute on my coaching. I do that for 45 minutes. And then I go ahead and execute on Student in My Calendar till 4:45, where once again, I do executive coaching calls there. Then turn everything off for 2 hours with my family. Then do 1.5 hours of research. Then I have an unwind routine. Beyond that disciplined routine, I have an adaptable routine for when things don't go the way that I plan. So very, very important. Let's keep taking these questions. Remember, Friday we'll have BYOQ. Keep caking and asking questions. It's free. My book is free. You can request that. The exercises and guides are free. Free training, everything. Just go ahead. Email me directly. I will answer, david@dmeltzer.com. I may cut and paste the answer to you, but it will be an answer to register. And you can go ahead and text me, 949-298-2905. Can't make things much easier and much freer. If it's free, it's me, and it should be you as well. How do you like to start your morning? Meditation. All right. Sorry about that. Getting a little repetitive with those two questions, but I'm moving fast. How do you start and end your day? I start with meditation and gratitude, and I end with gratitude in an unwind routine. Those are all good and related questions. Very interesting. Is there still an opportunity for brick and mortar businesses, or is that completely dead right now? Absolutely, right? Whenever there's significant change, whenever things are oversold, there's opportunity. So creatively look at your capabilities, your skills, your knowledge, and your desire. So I know that some of the retail businesses and food businesses that I know are using a hub strategy where they have one actual brick and mortar place and then smaller hubs where people can pick things up. So, just a variety of different options and opportunities to take advantage of a change in circumstance. This is called the margins of millionaires. You got to smile through the struggle. You have to see how your capabilities are aligned with what you're doing. All right, let's see. Anyone want to go live with me? Hey, Sid, how are you? Anybody want to go live? Let's see. Is Corey here? I know he wanted to go live. I promised him a little time. Let's see here. Let's take another question while we wait for people that want to go live. We got some fun people always on here. What do you think about investing in multifamilies? I love it. I love it, especially if you can buy low and sell high, create income from it, tax benefits from it. If it's a first-time property for you, what a great way to learn about all types of areas of investment in property. Just a tremendous opportunity. Love multi-units. I would, something I advise my girls to learn about as they're graduating, for their first property, 2, 3, 4 unit that they can manage, hopefully even, aggregate that into not only income for themselves, that may even cover their own expenses, but also profit. And then also the ability to build on that investment if they buy low. Remember, this is part of my TikTok for the day. You're not buying price, you're buying payment. So determine your payment and then reverse engineer what you're buying. You're not buying, when you're buying a property, you're buying a payment, not a price, right? A payment, not a price. That's really the rule of thumb. So make sure you're looking at your timing, your risk tolerance. Go ahead, buy a payment, not a price, and you will find it's quite easy to find the appropriate property that's aligned with your values. That's your personal experiential giving and receiving values. Jakey Bakey, I'm looking here for my friend Corey. Is he in here? I cannot find Corey. What's going on? What's going on with this? Hey, everybody. I have 0 for 2 here. Let's answer another question. I don't want to waste time. Advice for someone attempting self-discipline for the first time. Lower the bar. Lower the bar. I know it's counterintuitive to lower the bar, but the best way to create discipline and consistent behavior is to do something that you know every single day that you can do. Put on my shoes. That's how I'm going to start working out. I'm not going to go ahead and try to run a marathon, right? I'm going to go ahead and spend a minimum of 1 minute a day calling my mom to tell her that I'm happy, I'm healthy, I love her and appreciate her. The 4 things that a parent wants to know and a child should tell their parents. So either end of that deal you're on, make sure you're happy, healthy, you love and appreciate those most relative to you, most intimate to you. 4 things that are the only things they really want to know. You will satisfy that bond. You will clear the interference connection in your communication with you. How can I keep my business going and getting more customers? Once again, you have to look at your capabilities. You need to ask and attract. You need to, number one, take inventory of those values, ask and attract, in person, on the phone, via email and media every single day. Allow it to accelerate and grow. Student your calendar with productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. Do things now. 100% of the things you do now get done. People that get done build businesses. And finally, practice ending fear. Try to lessen the interference, corrosion between you and the most powerful source of energy, light, and love that you're connected to. All right? Awesome. Here you go. Loved your group chat interview. Do you like hip-hop music? Yes, I actually like all music, just not all artists within or all songs within or all pieces within all genres of music. But yes, love hip-hop and, been big fan for years. And my wife is a middle-aged gangster rapper. Love your group chat. Oh, sorry, I got repeats. Looking for. I've got a lot of the same ones in here. Thank you for giving me a few of those. All right. Was building multiple income sources the key to your success, would you say? No, the key to the success is the spine that's created with the vertebrae off of there. So starting with one key or core business and then utilizing the capabilities of that business to build other businesses within the spine. There's Corey. Hey, buddy. And let's see. So, oops, I got all kinds of stuff going on here. Won't let me add Corey. Why won't it let me add Corey? Corey, can you request to go with me live? Hey, Kate, I see you in there. Corey, go ahead and request to go live with me. That'd be great. Send me a quick request. Now I've lost complete train of thought. I'm off the wagon there. Let me just check and see what that question was. Oh, yeah. So the spine approach. So those capabilities feed the other businesses. Remember, the legs feed the lion. And then anything that's outside of that is a vertebrae. And just create a channel partnership, some sort of partnership or a referral agreement, finder's fees, all types of aggregated income that can occur. So you build a business this way with multiple businesses, and then you have partners this way with multiple services or solutions that you can refer to that related to your business. Okay, so very easy to do. Keep it straight, but the key is find the best business, put your resources, time, motion, energy, values into that core business, let it downstream to the other spinal businesses, and then vertebrae off all the channel partnerships, finders fees, referrals, all the other things that you can do, including charities, right? So I put always in every business opportunity some sort of charitable purpose or cause related to it, so that we can not only make a lot of money, but help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. That's why I do the free Friday trainings every Friday. That's why I give my books for free. That's why I have the exercises and guides for free. Go ahead, just text me if you want any of those. If you want to register for Friday, register for a free book, 949-298-2905, or email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Did you ever do this? I don't know. Just waiting for Corey here real quickly to send a request. We got all kinds of fun coming on with my first chief revenue officer. A lot of people don't even know what a chief revenue officer is. I wanted Corey to come on and explain about AR, explain about chief revenue officers, give us an idea of why it's important, etc., especially now to have that type of strategy in place. He's one of the original guys at Snapchat, by the way. That's why I wanted to get an idea. How do you leverage the capabilities of sales and marketing into that type of chief revenue position? How do you know that someone loves you? I don't care. How do you know? You never know if somebody loves you. Do you love yourself? If you are loved, you will be loved. If you are loved, you will be loved. You can't waste your time, emotion, and energy trying to create something that you have no control over. If you are loved, you will be loved. And those who love you will be at your frequency vibration. But you can't make somebody love you. You can't worry about whether somebody loves you. All types of things that you want to do. Be loved, and people will love you. And you won't care who doesn't, because you'll realize that those people are not on your frequency, that they're not aligned with your values, that they are, and pray for their happiness and understanding, but they're not, in essence, feeding you. They're bleeding you. And, feed those who feed you, cut off those that bleed you. And don't worry about who loves you. Worry about loving yourself. Be loved, and you will be loved. Okay? Took me only 52 years to semi-figure that out. I still am challenged to learn that. Is there such a thing as too much quantitative data during a pitch? There can be, of course, right? There could be, you want to go credibility, emotional attachment, quantify the reasons, quantify the impacts, quantify the capabilities of your skills, knowledge, all of those things. But if all you do is talk about the quantitative analysis, it could be way too much if you've missed credibility and emotional attachment. Because if you're 100% credible and the data that you're given lessens your credibility, then you've hurt yourself. So variety of things to understand when you're pitching. Go ahead, check out the pitch competition. It's on the podcast today. You can get the replay from me at david@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. All the replays are available on the Playbook, online. Everything's free. So just reach out, though. I'm encouraging you. Be part of our mission to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. Can't do it unless you reach out with what we're doing. What can one do to stay with high energy throughout the day? Number one, realize what you're connected to. You're connected to the greatest source of energy, light, love, and lessons at all time. If you don't have energy throughout the day, figure out what's causing the interference or corrosion to that connection, right? Is it your insecurities? What is it that's causing the interference to that? Are you not suiting your calendar? Are you not doing things now? Are you not asking for help? Are you not taking inventory of your values? So looking at that as we come on here. Let's get a quick 5 minutes. Corey, he's jumping on right now. We're loving it. Thank you for all your questions. Going live here and with the CRO of Genie, and it's connecting. There he is.
Hi, David.
How are you?
Great.
Good. Thanks for
Good
joining
morning.
me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, good. I have a big entrepreneurial following here, so I wanted to ask some simple questions that I get all the time. I thought you'd be a great source for that. Is number one, what does a chief revenue officer do? And two, I know your company deals in the tech side of strategic AR, and I was hoping you could give us a little insight on why that's so important today.
Yeah, so the chief revenue officer is a relatively new role of the CRO, and it is responsible for all of the sales activities, so any touch point with the customer, and that includes building out the sales funnel, the stages, and when you first, how do you gain awareness with your target audience, and then how do you move them through, like, educate and evaluate. When do you do a demo? What is your outreach process? What are all your marketing activities? So marketing actually rolls up. The VP of marketing rolls up to a chief revenue officer, and then of course you gotta persuade, inspire, do all the things that you had to do to win athletes and enterprises to back your business. The same at a tech company, and negotiate the proposal, and then it's either a closed won deal or a closed lost deal. And of course, you got to be batting. It's like baseball. You got to be batting about 350 or above. If you're batting 100, you'll probably be cut.
There you go. You got the Mendoza line of CROs. That's awesome. And then in strategic AR with Genie, give me a little bit of insight on, number one, what it is, and two, why it's so important today.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, I joined Snapchat. Actually came through an acquisition. So I was living in Silicon Valley. I'm from Silicon Valley, and joined a startup from a dorm room with a guy named John Rodriguez, and we sold the company to Snap in 2014. There was only 32 people in the entire company, and I worked directly with the CEO, Evan Spiegel, for the next 4 years, all the way through the IPO. And the company, when I left, it was 3,200 people globally. And Snap really pioneered peer-to-peer advertising through AR. So if you imagine some of those first ads where, like, you turn your head into a talking taco through AR for Taco Bell, which was used, I think, 200 million times. The opportunity is with Genie is you don't need a standalone app. It's web-based AR, so it's just a link, and that can get you right into your camera, and anything you see around you, whether it's a billboard, a poster, a thumbnail, or even a logo, anywhere that there's a logo printed. And of course, on our products, there's so many. Just open the refrigerator. You can be into an AR experience, and what we do is connect that experience to a business result. So for books, we just worked with the Hunger Games and Scholastic, the publisher. And if you point at the book, it actually brings the cover to life, and then you can buy the book. So that's the magic of Genie.
Yeah, and it's going to be so applicable to so many different things.
Yeah.
I stand in front of my green screen, for example, and even as a personal, brand, being able to allow all types of different content for my free trainings or free books or whatever it is, and then using my signature, my own logo, one of my videos, whatever it is, somebody could literally be able to be redirected into whatever, transition of sales it is. What, real quick, because I know we got shorted on time a little bit, but, I love the evolution of careers. And I always say it's easy when you connect the dot backwards to see, hyper successful people. But I love, as you were sitting in your dorm room with your buddy, your perspective. What was your motivation? What was your inspiration of starting your first business? And so that people can get the idea that, you don't start right where you want to be, but you angle towards, sometimes better than you thought you'd be.
Yeah, I really appreciate that question. So the entrepreneurial journey, just like yourself when you were building your business, is one of sleepless nights, a lot of stress. You know, we watch movies like The Social Network and it looks like everything just falls into place. But in our case, there were five of us and we all shared a mission that wanted, um, we wanted to work on things that were larger than ourselves. And there's nothing larger than the spatial web. So if everything, even you and I right now, we're communicating and we're communicating with a very large community that's engaged right now. But we're doing it behind a two-dimensional glass screen, whether that's in my hand or on the desktop. And with the spatial web, it's three-dimensional, and it's not just connecting the Internet of Things, it's the Internet of everything. So every product, every kind of
Ubiquity.
media,
It's
yeah, it's
finally
everything.
ubiquity.
Yeah, so we realized that the device that we all have in our pocket, which is ubiquitous, is still limited, and it's not where humans biologically um, receive and interpret information, which is right here, which is right from your eyes. 70% of our brains are actually computing visual information. And so we made a pair of futuristic glasses that look like wayfarers from like the year 2100, and they had a microchip in it, had video camera, and that product is now Spectacles at Snapchat. It's in its third version, and it has AR software on it. So as you're recording in the real world, you can overlay and teleport into any other kind of environment. And that's just the beginning. So what we believed, and it's happening more and more every day, is that it's not going to be about virtual reality or augmented reality. It's just going to be reality, just like the phone in your pocket. And that's why we were doing it. And five of us, we had beds, we had mattresses in the office, and we just slept there. And we had Costco tables, and we were building. I wouldn't say mass manufacture, but we were building product and we were shipping it around the world, and that later became a category leader. So yeah, it's just a hard fought battle being an entrepreneur and risking everything out there because you don't got a steady paycheck like you do at a big company. I'd worked at Lenovo, the former IBM computer, and that was a very kind of stable job. And you cut the cord and you go out there and you build your business. And that's what you've done. And that's what I'm sure many of the people who are tuning in today, hopefully it inspires them to make such a leap.
Perfect. Last question real quick. We got Donovan Carter from Ballers coming on, so we're excited about that as
Yeah.
well. It's kind of cool. But, I believe in this collective consciousness. When I was up in the Silicon Valley, in the middleware space, there was a different consciousness in the Silicon Valley in 99, 2000, 2001. Yeah. One of the cool things about what you're doing with AR and obviously the Internet of Everything, the ubiquitous journey that we are on, is that it's creating this new collective consciousness that's leveraging or extending the one that you and I grew up with.
That's right.
In the early days that we were I always say I was blessed because I accidentally got into the internet in 92, right? Which created a consciousness at a really big company, then got to go to the Silicon Valley in the mid 90s and be around that energy and that belief system, and it was very entrepreneurial. I believe that collective consciousness, believe it or not, was stemmed from the gold rush days, that people that came out to California had this entrepreneurial spirit. So we had an energy of collective consciousness. How do you think AR and what you do, is going to affect this collective belief that you're talking about that's ubiquitous?
Yeah, so I think there's 2 points there. One, you mentioned 99, and I was there as well too, in Silicon Valley, where they were giving away BMWs as hiring bonuses.
I was one of those guys hiring people like that. Juniors out of SLO were making 200 grand.
Exactly. So I think the first point about that is, big, just like the gold rush, even big explosions of productivity are often followed by really big bubbles and they burst. And there's been a series of financial crises over the last couple decades. What's really interesting is the companies that arrive on the scene that are built to last that come out of that. So if you think about Google going IPO in 2004, Facebook really starting around 2004, YouTube, so forth, and even Snap started in 2011 following the financial crisis. So right now, unfortunately, we are in another crisis, a financial crisis, a health crisis, and the companies that make it through are going to be the ones that become the next powerhouse, the huge employers, the publicly traded companies. So and then answering on your point there is the spatial web is making everything more intelligent. So it's not about having to print a manual as an example that comes with an appliance. It's just pointing at your appliance and seeing the videos, having an immersive, interactive overlay, and being able to understand all the key features of that product, how to use that product, how to service that product. So that's the capability, and it's built upon things like edge computing, 5G, and the internet as it's been built mainly for text, like hypertext, HTML, so forth. And now it's going into a completely immersive and interactive environment that is sort of like Minority Report. It's indistinguishable from science fiction. And those are the tools that we're building, and that many other entrepreneurs probably in a dorm room and tuning in today will build.
That was my hope of bringing you on, not only educating people of how sales and marketing leads to being a chief revenue officer, which to me is always, I believe there's two key people in my own business. One is the CRO, somebody that is literally responsible for that batting average of what it is, revenue wise, to keep everybody paid, which is important, especially now. And then I believe the CBO, which is my newest position over the last couple of years, which is Chief Betterment Officer, where I have one person focused on every single area of my business to make it better. And that exponential margin is quantitatively helping the CRO hit that 350 average, which, by the way, in baseball would be legendary. So just lower it to 300, just for your credibility. Baseball 300's an all-star.
Okay.
So we'll keep it at 300.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well,
Sounds
Corey,
great.
thank you so much for joining us. Check out Genie. It's the future. AR strategy is going to be really important, even for individual brands, authors, speakers. If you're out there, go ahead, reach out. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
That was awesome. All right, I saw Donovan join us here. If you guys like to show ballers, Vern is the man, and I'm not sure if people know what his sports background was as well. And I want to go live with Donovan Carter from Ballers. Very good lead-in, by the way, with the AR, augmented reality, in the world of ubiquity, because as athletes, entertainers, the world is changing with content remotely. Oh, there he is.
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Hey, Donovan, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm great, man. I'm blessed, man. Good morning.
I am blessed, too. Thank you so much. Are you in LA right now?
Yes, sir. Yep. I just got back from Napa. I was in Napa this weekend.
Right on. Is that a Bruins shirt you have on? I just kind of caught that.
Yeah, man. Go Bruins, man.
Oh,
yes,
man.
Sir.
I grew up in the Eric Karras days and Ken Norton Jr. days and the Northern Suites. I was so jealous. I wanted to play ball at UCLA, but I had one deficiency talent, so I had to play.
That's back when we was good too, man. That was a good day.
Oh yeah, man. We had I represented Aikman with Lee Steinberg, and we've had some great UCLA athletes, of course. And huge fan. My sister went there, my brother-in-law, but I played at Occidental right around the corner. We just weren't quite.
In high school, I went to high school out here as well, but my coach, we used to go to Occidental for a football camp, and every summer, like it was like a full contact camp.
Yeah.
But it was cool though, man. Like I never, I'm from the Valley, but I didn't know like Occidental was over there, and Obama went there. Yourself,
Affleck, Obama, Jim Mora, Jack Kemp, a lot of good guys.
A lot of heavy hitters, man. A great
Trevor,
school, man.
Trevor Moad, David Meltzer. Who else can you ask for?
Pretty tough school. I didn't get recruited by them either.
Yeah,
I had a grade.
Well, anyway, I really wanted to get into the eclectic background. A lot of people don't know, but you've actually been in acting as a career far before football. right? Weren't you involved in the business itself? And it's such an entrepreneurial business.
Yeah.
How did what you learned, in the acting side of things apply to the sports side of playing at UCLA?
Oh man, so much, man. I mean, I didn't know, football and acting kind of correlated at the time. I mean, I had a little bit of experience when I was young. I did a play when I was like 10 years old, but that was all of my acting experience I had at the time. But with football and like acting, it's just like how I have to memorize my plays. It's just how I have to memorize my lines. Just taking direction from my coaches. It's the same way I have to take direction from my directors, producers, and really just, just reading and reacting. When you're on the field, you just got to just react and just take chances, take risks, and you have to move on. Even if, good or bad play, my coach always says, move on. And same way acting, you have multiple takes. This take might be really, really good, but you have to do another take, make that one exciting as well. And really just, listen to the people around you. Because a lot of times you don't see the outcome until everybody else watches it when the whole show comes out. So it's not like each take I can go and look at the film. Whereas football, you can, technology is really fast. You see the quarterback looking at the iPad, right away, or printouts of like what he did wrong to help fix his mistakes. But I saw it kind of merge in, especially with the memorization, because I had to memorize a lot of plays for football, and same thing, got to memorize a lot of lines for acting.
Yeah, it's incredible. When I started doing TV and movie, I started so ignorant as an executive producer. I didn't even know what that meant. And then Lee Steinberg told me, Dave, that means you raise the money. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. I thought I was gonna be sitting
Yeah.
behind a camera.
Yeah, so many different jobs. Same thing as football. You got all these different coaches. You got your, you don't just got the head coach. You got this coach, that coach, and same thing on set. You got producers, you got light and makeup. Just so many pieces of the puzzle. You looking around like, who are all these people? Like, what do they do?
Yeah, and then that's true about the whole team. One thing I noticed at Ballers, just like a good football team, there is an energy about it, right? There's
Yeah.
this locker room mentality, and talk about an all-star team. I bet you wish you had the talent that you had on Ballers on your football team at UCLA. You guys would have won a national championship
Oh
because you're
yeah,
so loaded with talent, and
man.
everybody's elevating everybody else. Can
Right.
you kind of explain to us, the teamwork that's involved in producing, a show like Ballers?
Oh man, it was amazing, man. Like we just, like you said, just came together. Like the camaraderie, we came together as a team. We all kind of knew the purpose, was the show, and there was no ego, no pride. Everybody just had each other's back, and I really just had to go, every day on set. I just had to go and do my job. Everybody had a job. just like in football, you have one job. You got this gap, or you got to do this play, and if everybody does it collectively, you should score. Or offense, you should score every play. So it was the same thing. I didn't have to worry about what Dwayne was doing, or my boy London that played Reggie. I just knew that they was gonna come with it, and I had to do the same. And it kind of took the pressure, because I think a lot of times you put pressure on yourself because you think you have to do more than what you need to do. But really, all you gotta do is just stay in your lane, do your job, and trust and believe whoever you're working with is doing their job too. And it also was a blessing because The Rock, he's so cool, man. Like he's like one of the nicest guys ever. So it's like when your lead or your head is that cool, it just trickles down to every level. Cause he wasn't like, he didn't have no ego, man. Was so humble, and really just made like every day a breath of fresh air. Cause if you have somebody that's like uptight, you have an uptight boss or coach, and always yelling, it just it makes you walk on eggshells. You nervous to make mistakes. And
Yeah.
and I really appreciate Dwayne for that. That's what I learned from him the most. Like, man, he treats everybody the same, no matter who you are.
Yeah, he's an incredible person and actor. Now, last thing real quick, because, in entertainment is much like entrepreneurship. You're only as good as your last play,
Right. Yeah.
and,
Your next play too sometimes.
yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't realize, you get a big smash hit like Ballers. You
Yes.
not only while you're in it, just like when you're playing, you got to prepare for the future. What are
Yeah.
some of the things that you're doing and did do to prepare for your next big project?
I mean, first, just get your mind right, spiritually, mentally, physically. You just gotta get all them things. right as well, because, it'll be times, you never know what's going to happen. Nobody could plan this pandemic that hit right now. We all kind of, everybody's out of a job right now in my industry. So it's just one of the things, you got to find happiness, I think, in yourself, because if it's going to come a rejection in this business, and, you're going to get more losses than wins. So you just got to make sure inside that you good, because, sometimes that can get to you, make you insecure, a little vulnerable, a little anxious. And then, for me, all my acting friends always say, man, save your money, save your money, because you just never know what's going to happen. Because like you said, it can happen so fast and you can slow down. And, you just want to have something for a rainy day. And just make sure, one of my co-stars, man, he always told me, like, make sure you got other things going on. Like, don't make acting like your main source of income, because, if you do, you'll just drive yourself crazy, because it's just such a fickle business. You just never know what's going to happen. If you sign a deal on a show for 10 seasons with a show, like if you want a Friends or, a show like that, that's a different situation. But even then, you still don't get comfortable, because you just never know. You could get easily replaced in this business. And yeah, just, I've been looking into other things right now as I'm down. Just multiple streams of income is always good, especially in California. It's so expensive out here, man. So you just have to,
Well, that's the
yeah,
nice thing about remote. So many people are rethinking being in California, because now they can get all the benefits of California without being here remotely.
yeah,
You mentioned something really important that I was told at a young age. Bob Proctor is one of my mentors. He's a big Think and Grow Rich guy, Napoleon Hill. But
yeah,
he said, your first objective in business should be to save enough money so that you can live for 2 years. Because once you have that savings, the whole world, your perspective changes. Talk about
right,
someone pressing you with fear on the football field, on the set. We don't perform. That fear is an interference to our pure creativity, what's coming through us, right? And
right,
so I find the same thing about not having savings. In the entrepreneurial side of things, in the business side of things, the more savings you have, the less fear you have when you're working through things. You're giving yourself a fair assessment. You're making choices based off of intuition, not fear of, oh my God, I got to, pay for my car payment or my apartment or whatever it may be. What's the, you've had such a great background with, at the highest level, one of the best colleges in the world. I think still UCLA has more, just so people know, UCLA has more gold medals in the Olympics than most countries. That's how extraordinary UCLA is, besides academically. Then you have, Ballers, this hit show that you've been on. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned through your journey so far that you could share with us?
I would just say, man, like, man, God is good, man. Like, just enjoy, enjoy every day, enjoy the journey, and, enjoy the process. Um, I learned, like, mistakes are gifts. I think so. You get so caught up, you don't want to, you don't want to fail or make a mistake. But I'm just learning, like, that's how you grow. And even right now, going through things, failure, perseverance, like, it's scary stuff. Nobody wants to go through bad things, but, like, really, that's how you grow. Like, even in football, some of my hardest workouts are the ones that I remember the most. Or, the tough times, the training camp, the time where it's hard, that's when you learn and you grow. So it's like, don't fight that, and just take chances always. And like I said earlier, man, don't get comfortable. Like, don't ever get comfortable, because I think, like, that's one thing. When you get to a certain part of success, you want to relax and get off the throttle. Like, just keep going. Like, keep going. Don't forget what got you to that place. Just
Yeah.
always have that drive.
You nailed it. Danica Patrick always says, get comfortable being uncomfortable. I think I'll articulate what you say very well is my favorite sentence, which is enjoy the consistent everyday, persistent without quit pursuit of your potential, right? That's my definition of enjoying the journey. Being happy is enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. You obviously are doing that, man. I can't wait for this pandemic to be over so we can get together in person and I can help and see what you're doing, the projects that you're working on. Make sure that you reach out to me. Huge fan of yours, man. Keep up the great work.
Oh, man, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
You got some job. Thank you so much for joining me here. Awesome. We got some great knowledge, great guests, as everybody knows. Just been really good. Let's take one more question. Remember, everybody, free training, BYOQ, bring your own questions this Friday for training. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you haven't registered, it's free. David@dmeltzer.com, or just text me 949-298-2905. Free books, free guides, free exercises, and free training. Go ahead, reach out. Don't be afraid. You don't get unless you ask. That's awesome. We got CJ McCallum time, he's telling me. That means I got to get on a playbook. All right. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I got to jump. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, Friday, reach out to me, David@dmeltzer.com, 949-298-2905. Thank you, Donovan. Thank you, Corey. You guys are great. Remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds.